Yo, everybody. It's just going to be a night full of yo's, I suppose. Good evening, Arcade Shopper, Sigurd Bjorn, Lady Eileros. How are you all doing? I hope you are well. I'm running background music from my FLAC collection tonight, and I realize it's either not tagged or Fubar is not reading the tags. I don't really understand. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's messed up pretty bad somehow. Hey, Petzel, how are you? Let's see. Where is everything? I don't know where everything is. Hey, jobs are stupid. Yeah, jobs are stupid, but they do pay the bills. So, well, welcome, Voxel Trots. How are you? It's good to see you. I feel like it's been a minute. Were you watching Revision? I'm curious what you thought of the compos. So 23 is an odd number. It is an odd number. Yeah. Well, I like my day job too, but unfortunately, my day job has been taken away from me, and it sounds like I am now going to be given a different day job to do. So for those of you who don't follow me on Fetty, the company has decided to shut down the business unit of which I am part. So things are going to be weird for a little bit. And speaking of weird, why is there a weird box over top of this weird black box in my chat? It's the HDMI capture. That is very strange. Amiga demos were amazing, especially the last three. Yeah, the Amiga demos were really good. Not a ton of really good productions, but the really good productions that were there were very solid. Thank you, Lady Arrows. Basically they've just decided that there is no way that my business unit is going to be profitable enough for the investors and to be able to raise the kind of money that they need to do the things they want to do. So it sounds like, the product that we're offering, we've been working on, it's going to be wound down. And I think we're all going to be more or less given the opportunity to join one of the other business units. There's really only one that is a software related sort of thing. So I'm waiting to hear more news about that. It's been a depressing day. It's been a depressing day, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I am absolutely looking. I'm considering what to do. I need to choose my next job. It could be something at this current company, or it could be something somewhere else. I've given some serious thought to trying to make it as a retro repair and modder, and I might investigate that a little bit more because it is definitely a thing that I enjoy doing, and I like to think I have at least some level of talent for it, keeping all these machines I have running. But anyway, thanks, Arcade Shopper. I will do that. Hey, Amiga Gamer, how are you? Overdue for a change? Again, not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired of tech. Tech is going in directions that just do not interest me right now. And I don't know. I've got some considerations to do. What it means in the immediate moment right now, I'm probably going to be zeroing out the retro budget, and unfortunately that includes Twitch and Patreon support for a number of folks who are actually in this channel right now. So I will apologize right now, but I think for the moment it would be prudent to sort of scale everything back, including retro. I don't know how, hopefully it won't stay that way for long. I don't know, but I'll figure out what was going on. Struggling with tech attitudes, ethics, and that was 6 years ago, yeah. Yeah, same. But for tonight, Still has some cool stuff to deal with. Yeah, thanks, Sigurбjörn. Yeah, I will be putting things above the hobby. And frankly, I'm at the point where I don't need to continue spending massive amounts of money on this hobby. I am literally surrounded by machines that don't see enough use, don't see enough attention. We all joke about our shelf queens, and this is the situation I'm in right now. So yeah, I've got a little bit of stuff. Oh, thanks, Daddy Alaros. I mean, I'm just it bums me out because I've recently considered myself very lucky, and I am very lucky to be in this situation that I'm in, and I try to support other hobbyists. And one of the ways that I've done that is, in fact, in this little box right here. So you can take a look at that tonight. All right, enough about the day job. Onto the retro, because there's some fun stuff going on. We've got I have a Mac. Like what in the world? I have a Mac. Sold off 75% of your collection of swap meet 2 years ago. Yeah, I feel that very much, Voxel Trots. I don't use this stuff, and other people probably would, and they would probably enjoy it, and that's great. One of the big motivations, in fact, for why is the front camera off here? There we are. One of the big motivations that I've had for collecting these machines is at my old job, I used to run an annual retro game night, and I brought out as many machines as I could cram into the auditorium and find displays for, and people loved it, and I really loved sharing all this stuff with other people. And I'm just not doing that anymore because I don't work for that company, and I don't really have an opportunity to share stuff. So there's not really that big a reason for me to have just like everything. Yes, pizza box. It is a pizza box. So this is an LC2, exactly. See if I can get it up there. Yeah, this is a Macintosh LC2. It is a 16 megahertz 030. So it's my first 68K Amiga. It's my first 68K Mac, kind of. 20 some odd years ago, I had a Quadra 840 AV, and unfortunately that had to go in the Great Purge. But yeah, my local buddy just gave this to me, basically as a thank you for helping him with a bunch of other stuff. So I think it's kind of cool. Just watching other VOD where somebody blamed YouTube for spiking interest in collecting, so everything is so expensive. Yeah, I mean, it is the retro collecting market is what it is, right? And economies have changed, money has changed. People spend money on different stuff now. I mean, I certainly did for a long time. But anyway, I'm probably gonna get rid of a lot of my machines. Well, I don't know about a lot, but definitely some. I have a VGA modded Coco 2 I want to get rid of. I have a CPM modded Tandy 102. I want to get rid of that. What else? I'll probably get rid of the Olivetti M10 because I don't use it, and this is like I was trying to be some like completionist with slab tops, and that's just not a thing. At least not for me anymore. I'm gonna get my stool. Sorry, actually been standing for a lot of the day. You buy the Amiga. Yeah, I have to decide. I have to decide what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. I'm sure you can get an Amiga over there, though. All right, sorry, people are just texting me. 4 C128Ds. That is silly. I will give you that. That 4 C128Ds is kind of silly. When Sigurбjörn's 4000 with the crazy keyboard. Yeah, his 4000 is pretty crazy, isn't it? What in the world is this? Sorry, Oh, Radix and Luvia colors. Okay, I was like, what is this background tune? I haven't heard this in a long time. It's really good. The PCB is physically broken. Ooh, 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 that's not good. Ooh, that's not good. Transplanting everything over. Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, but yes, Macintosh LC2. Let's take the cover off. Let's take the cover off, because why not? So, my buddy did me a solid and dropped a blue SCSI in it for me already. So it's got an image. So I have booted this up enough to get the video going because I know it works. I think he did the recap on this. I think so. He's actually gotten pretty good at it, honestly. So it's been recapped. It's got a blue SCSI. It's got a 0.5 meg of video RAM. Sorry, let me get the camera over here where you can see things a little better. It's got a 0.5 meg of video RAM. I don't have any expansion RAM in it. I should really look for some. I've got a giant box of Sims, so it's just got the base 4 megs in it right now. And this particular model, this is for people in the know about Macs. This is a road apple. This is a dog of a machine and has all sorts of limitations, and it's pretty crappy. But it's still kind of fun. I mean, it's an LCO, it's a 16 megahertz LCO 30. Battery damage. I don't believe it had any. There's no battery in it currently. Oh wait, yes there is. He did replace that. So yeah, all right. I guess it was no I guess this was undamaged, and he replaced the battery because this is a modern safety lithium on this guy. And in fact, the cover is slightly cracked. I'll need to fix that. Mac time. Yep. This is what people afford. Yes, this is what people who couldn't afford a Mac had. You had a road apple like this. So I'll have to look and see if I can find some RAM. Yes, you would run it very slowly on this machine. I think he's recapped the power supply. I'll have to double check with him. It looks suspiciously like someone has been inside this. So I think he recapped the power supply. So basically, it's good to go, and just kind of needs playing with now. So I thought maybe I would check that out. This is a Mac LC2, and he's got the blue SCSI in here. Is this a push-pull type? No. Yes? No? No. Can't actually get the SD card out of it. Oh well, no matter. I don't actually need to get it out right now. Because I'm just going to boot the image, and he says there's all sorts of good stuff on here. I think he found an image on archive or something. Put it on there. So, yeah, I'm looking around. And then I've actually had it for a while because I couldn't run it without the infamous Mac video adapter, which I finally found. Didn't find, just bought on eBay. So the one with the jumpers or the dip switches, so you can select the Mac model. And I was fiddling around yesterday or day before, I forget, finding a mode that my scan converters would deal with, and I finally got it working in 640 by 480, and the Extron scan converter is finally happy with it, so we can run that. Yeah, I had a bunch of these adapters, and then I was just like, I declared classic Macs out of scope for my collecting, and I got rid of all my Mac stuff. I had 2 or 3 of these video adapters, and I gave those to someone. I had a whole bunch of mice. I gave those away. Haven't had time to look at your dad's Power Mac. Gave the other day. Probably needs. Yeah, it probably does, but that's cool. Well, I mean, when I have stuff that I'm not going to use, I want someone else to use it. You know, cool people. You want to get rid of a 72 Coupe de Ville. Good luck with that, man. Good luck. All right, but actually, before we get into the Mac, I want to unbox this stuff because it is cool. So, got a major delivery and some things I've been waiting on. Power Mac 8100 G3 accelerator with GPU. Oh, nice. That does sound like a good machine. That Power Mac G4 MDD was fun to play with. I did a stream where I ran some demos on that. That was fun to play with. Then I was just like, this thing is giant. I'm never gonna do anything with it. So that thing found a new home. But this is cool. This is a firstie for me from Slonysoft in the UK. Royal Mail. This is my first physical game purchase for ZX Spectrum. Yes, this is the man with the golden joystick. If any of you know Retro Hitch, Slonysoft made him into a game, and it's a really fun. It's a very fun just love note to Manic Miner. It really is great. I've enjoyed playing it. And so when they announced they were doing some physical tapes, I was just like, yeah, go ahead, sign me up. I've never bought a physical game. I have plenty of physical tapes. Like when I got my 48K, it came with a whole bunch of tapes. Like this is a 1648 magazine tape even. He sent me a bunch of these tapes, but I've never like bought a new game on tape. So here it is. Man with the Golden Joystick. Also, Mega Manic Mulholland. Never played that one. And apparently 2 other mystery games. So there's 4 games on this tape. Actual Spectrum screenshots. Check it out. You need to get that going. Yeah, you do need to get that going. I bet that'll be a fun machine for you. Probably way more fun for you than me. I hope I didn't permanently wreck it with my stupid firmware tricks. Sorry about that, Lady Alaros. And here we are. Ooh, it's purple. I think the tapes were in a bunch of colors. I didn't know which one I was getting. Mega Manic Mulholland plus bonus game on this side. And the Man with the Golden Joystick plus bonus game on this side. Nice short little tapes. Look like 15-20 minute tapes, I guess. Or maybe it's just a C30. I don't know. And let's see. 2 great bonus titles: the smash hit Pass Forward to the Past and a mystery bonus Slonysoft game. I think these are new tapes. Yeah, but I don't know for sure if it's new shells with old stock Mylar oxide or if it's actually new tapes. I don't know for sure if anyone's making the actual tape anymore. Maybe somebody does know. Bring some color to your ZX Spectrum with these action-packed games from Slonysoft. Save Pete from his nightmares in Mega Manic Mulholland. Journey with Dave and Nate through the time vortex in Forward to the Past. Guide Retro Hitch to a stream of a lifetime to save the world from Dr. Beige. Controls, QAOP, redefinable, and Kempson joysticks. So I have played the Man with the Golden Joystick. It's a fun game. So there's that. I'm happy to have that. And then I'll put this over here. It's actually, after this stream, it's going right into my tape deck to make a WAV file out of. And then, all right, so the DVI project, stuff is going into that. I have the 5¼ inch to 3½ inch mount. So the plan on this is to mount the Gotek into this and then put this into the drive bay where the 5¼ inch floppy was. The color is close enough to the other drive because we're going to leave the other 5¼ inch drive in there. And then I may have to print a new case for the actual Gotek. Oh, and speaking of the Gotek, so last time I struggled with getting that stupid OLED display working. Turns out it's just a dead OLED. I put a new one in there, fired right up. So nothing wrong with the config file, just stupid, stupid dead Amazon stuff. All right, and then finally, I think I decided to take a chance. I may regret this, but I decided to take a chance on some no-name, made in China. Well, it's all made in China, what am I saying? But some no-name brand micro SD cards for bare metal Pi stuff. So here we are. Lurdisk 2 gig micro SD class 6. What could go wrong? Exactly, what could go wrong? They were cheap enough that I was just like, these things don't need to be fast for bare metal Pi stuff, because it's just loading a kernel and then other files and stuff. Enough retro. Let's do an unboxing. Yeah. Well, this stuff was ordered like a week ago, and some of it even more than a week ago. Like this. American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan. Yeah. Arg. Alright, apparently I tried to get into this exactly the opposite way that I should have. Not everything in here should be. We have a Raspberry Pi because I was planning at the time to make another RGB to HDMI, and I saw that Pimoroni in the UK had these in. This is a Pi 0W, so it's just the first one, not the Pi 2.0, but the Pi 0, because that one works fine on the RGB to HDMI. You don't need a Pi 2 for that. So, at this point I'm probably actually, well, I don't know if I'm going to continue with that or not. That one might go on hold. Yeah, I mean, they are, the Pi Zeros are not as rare. I mean, you rarely find them in the States, but I can find them fairly regularly once every month or two at Pimoroni in the UK. So if you're looking for a Pi Zero, that's the place to do it. Got more resale value than the Mac? Maybe. Pi 02 for months for your MT32 Pi. Really, Voxel Trots? Pimoroni, I don't know. It's weird. Well, because I swear they had 02s that the same day, but I was just like, I don't need a 02. A 0 is fine. Pi 400's are okay to pick up. Even the Pi 400s I haven't seen in stock. They had that day they had 02Ws, they had a couple of Pi 3s, and they had the zeros, and that's it. I haven't seen 4s or 400s available in quite some time. I have a Pi 400. It's my Pi Mega. But yes, I have too much retro, so because I'm buying more, like some sort of idiot. Cheap, but they're full spec 4s in a nice case, ready to use. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the chip shortage is quite real. And then this should be the last little bit of it. Yes, okay. So for Boat Fest coming up in June, I'm going to have a BBC Micro and my Atari ST, bringing those. And I want to set up a twin stick shooter called Lamatron 2112. Obviously, it's a spoof of Robotron, but it's really fun, and it's a twin stick shooter. And so I wanted to beef up my joystick game. So I bought some octagonal gates for my big arcade sticks that I plan to have on the Atari ST. So these are about, I think they're about $10 for a 2-pack on Scamazon. They're not genuine Sanwa, but they're made for Sanwa JLF sticks. And in my experience, they're nice. They're fine. And an octagonal gate, I think is just, I'm totally sold on the octagonal gate. I really liked it. So we'll have that for play some twin stick shooters at Boat Fest on the Atari. All right, and with all of that silliness out of the way, half an hour into the stream, let's fire up the Mac. All right, we're gonna go into sound now, so you can go ahead and mute that. Feature of the GameCube controller is the octagonal. The GameCube is octagonal gate. That's kind of cool. And again, my front camera is off. All right, actually gonna take a quick break here. I need to probably deal with this phone call. I will be back in a minute. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so for video, I am running through the Extron. I tried this with the GBSC, and it wasn't able to sync at 640. It was okay with the 512 by 384, but I wanted to get to 640 by 480. I'm not sure if I had just settings wrong, or if it just couldn't cope with the video, but the Extron seems to be okay here. And in the meantime, my chat has turned into a pile of dad jokes, which is great, So let me switch over. There we go. Yay. Okay, the cropping is a little off, but scaling seems okay, and I think the aspect ratio looks right as well, right-ish. Yeah, it's great in 8-bit color. I'm sure you can't tell over the stream how dithered it is, but it's quite a nice dither there. 8 or 9. System 8. No, this is 753. And all right, every time I boot it up, it's yelling at me that I didn't shut it down properly either. So this is a weird thing that I don't understand. Is there a situation where Macs do this? Like, I don't know. All right, so the time is off. I wonder if that battery is actually not good. Okay, all you Mac people, if my PRAM battery was dead, would it be complaining at me every time that I didn't shut it down properly? Or is it something else? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the deal is. Because I'll do it right now. All right, I'm going to shut down SP3 won't even boot without a PRAM. Wow. Okay. All right. Safe to switch off your Macintosh. I'm going to switch off my Macintosh. And the fan is also really noisy. I need to replace the fan. And we'll switch it back on. Oh, I don't have audio hooked up. Sorry. Let me do that. Even if it's dead, it physically has to be there. So like you can have a dead battery in circuit and it's fine, but an open circuit since not? That's really weird. Clean shutdown bit gets saved in PRAM. Ah, okay, so it's not something in the file system. That's good to know. Let me find a cable and hook up the sound. That's like super weird. Where is sound? Sound out. Oh, I just realized. I think this is either a clone or actually the right cable, because it's got that weird shape to it that fits the cutout shape in the back of the case. Schrodinger's battery, yeah. All right. Audio in. Okay, so PRAM battery probably dead, which is weird because this looks like it's been replaced. All right, meter. Meter time. We can answer this. Take the battery. Well, you know, sometimes you have to put the batteries back in, Amiga Gamer. Sometimes you have to put the batteries back in. Well, I didn't think, is this a rechargeable battery? I literally have no idea what I'm doing here. Y'all are just going to watch me absolutely flounder around with this thing. All right. $3.6. Okay. Try just leaving it on. I don't know. It's been on for probably at most 20 minutes at a time. But all right. Yeah. Have you tried not turning it off? All right. Shut down. All right. I'm going to switch off my Macintosh. And then we're going to check the battery again. Still 3.6. Corrupt. Have you tried resetting the PRAM? How do you do that? Right. Command Option PR. I knew that. I knew that. I swear I knew that. I did used to use Macs at one point. I swear. This is terrible. I was literally the Mac guy at my old job for 5 years. During the Power Mac to Intel OS X transition. All right. Get back to where you were, camera. And I apologize for having an anatomically incorrect mouse mat. No, they did not, Amiga Gamer. Ugh. Tech support for your dad for many years, yeah. All right. Okay, so I turn it on and then I do Command Option PR, right? Hey, Pulpo, how you doing? Pizza Box Mac on the bench. Yep. And thank you so much for the 10 months. And thank you, Sigibjorn, for the 23. I think it was 23 months, which is crazy. I don't know if I thanked you when you at the beginning, but I really appreciate that. I can't believe I've actually been affiliate for 23 months. Before the bong. Okay, that means I got to be pretty quick, right? All right, Command Option PR. Ooh, okay. Did you guys hear? Did you hear it beep? Cool. All right, that's twice. It's 3, right? 3 shall be the number of the counting, and the number of the beeps shall be 3. Okay. Not going to do it 5 times. Sounded a little bit like it was underwater. Like muffled? I don't know how good the audio input is on this Extron. I've not messed with it much. It's warbly sounding, some crackling. Okay, it could be a level issue inside here. Oh, you know what? I bet I know something at least about what it is. Input configuration. Yeah, I bet the audio gain is too hot, which it looks like it is. So we're gonna go with that. Yep, boot it up. Thank you, Jelly Be Good. All right, knocked 4 dB off the sound input. See how it goes. Oh, I have to press the return key. I can't use the mouse. All right, so theoretically, PRAM should be okay. See if it complains again. Yeah, my mouse speed is also... Is the mouse speed saved in PRAM? Because that got reset as well. I'm learning about Macs. Hey, Texas Foos, what's going on? Okay, I see on my meter that did not clip this time. At least I don't think it did. Yeah, the default mouse speed is quite slow. Yes, indeed. System 7, 753, I think is what he's got on there. Bong still sounded funny. All right, I'll listen to the VOD, see if I can figure out what the sound issue is here. I don't use my Extron much, so. Apple dealership lent you a brand new 753 CD the other day. What? Icelandic. Interesting. Extron's ADC does already capture the peak of... Okay, yeah. I don't know. Could be dodgy cable, could be dodgy connection. Oh, thanks for letting me know. I'll sort it out. I'll listen to the VOD. They just have them around? That is super weird. I don't know. I don't know what I kind of thought 753 was like the latest 7.5, but who knows? Definitely not me. All right, so it complained again. That's super weird. I don't know if it's something with the blue SCSI. Maybe I'll have to find some diagnostic tool. There's diagnostic tools for the PRAM, right? There have to be. But anyway, all right. That's a minor nuisance that I'm going to ignore for a while. Yeah, it is weird. Okay, so what we've got on here? We've got a giant folder, just games in all caps. We like that. Except for Civilization, that gets its own top level folder. I've never played Civilization. I've never played it. Installed. Huh, okay. I guess maybe they moved the folder there after he installed it. Games. Other tools. What do we got here? Hex edit, nice. Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. Other, no, wait, no, don't do that. I know what Microsoft Works is. I don't care about Microsoft Works. I want other systems. What's in here? System picker. Select the system folder to be active after restart. Oh, is this to like boot multiple different OS versions? That's kind of crazy. Choose different Mac OS versions. Cool. Store, mount. All right. So there is some way, apparently, to use the SD card and the Blue SCSI to transfer files from a modern machine. I have no idea how to do that, but I'm guessing that maybe one of these folders is for that. I really don't know. SCSI probe. So this machine was basically his daily driver Mac for a little while until he upgraded, I think, to a, well, he has an SE30 now, and he has a PowerPC Performa. So I think this one was just surplus, and he's just like, you play with it now. The Blue SCSI toolbox, okay. Searching for Blue SCSI. All right. Kind of would expect that to be in here. Sorry, a little tired. Like I said, long day. Drop stuff. I think I remember that. There's little kernels of Mac knowledge that are bubbling up in my head as I look through some of this stuff. Because I haven't been anti-Mac my entire life, I swear. Setup and repair. See what's in here. Ooh, ResEdit. I remember messing with ResEdit. And Mini VMac. There's Mini VMac on a Mac. That's kind of crazy. What else? All right, so you tell me to search for Blue SCSI toolbox. Which I'm not seeing. That's not like a control panel thing, is it? Nah, I would have seen it. Try search. Oh, like searching. How do I search? Just use Spotlight. Find file. All right. How do I do that? Is it in here? Find file. Find file. Look at that. On local disk. Blue SCSI. Thank you. Thank you for finding my hard drive, Mac. I appreciate that. Huh. Maybe it's not installed. Yeah, good job, little Mac. Good job finding the hard drive. You're a good little Mac. We appreciate you. Even if you are a road apple. Yeah. All right, well, I'll have to look into that. The Blue SCSI toolbox. Okay. I will look into that. In the meantime, I'm tired, and I think we should just play some games. That's the tool. You just need to assign it in SCSI ID. Hey, we've been trying to figure out if this thing has the blue SCSI toolbox installed to transfer files from modern machines. Apparently, there's some way to do it. Although maybe it's just not on this image. This could be just an image that he pulled off. I don't know if this is one he built himself or if it's something he just pulled off archive. Oh, was it the PRAM? No, resetting the PRAM had no effect. So battery voltage looks fine. Zapping the PRAM didn't do it. I have no idea what's up with it. So that's just a weird thing I'll have to sort out, maybe ask around. All right, well, I don't think I've seen any of these games. I was secretly hoping that this would have Oxide on it, because that is the game I remember from classic Mac is Oxide. I actually have it on my Atari, but it doesn't work. I don't know if it's like a bad crack. But I used to play Oxide on a Mac Classic any chance I could get. Hey Retro Fox, how you doing? And SG Bayou, how are you? Yeah, Oxide was fun. I liked it a lot. Oh, sorry. It is the pollinating in Virginia, and I can't breathe. All right. I have no idea what these are. So we can see what ashes is. Stoneware. I swear I remember that. Maybe. Yeah, totally advertise me your database program when I'm playing a game called Ashes to Ashes. That sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe all through the Central East Coast, the pollinating has come. Deja Vu and Shadowgate. Oh, those games you played? That's cool. Hey, the Girl Geek. What's going on? I am messing around with a Mac because I'm some sort of crazy person. A whole 17.6 megabytes. Yep. That's an odd size for a database to be able to grow up to, right? 17.6 megabytes. Monochrome Max had this cool game, you fly paper. Oh yeah. Glider. I remember that. That was also very fun. Want instructions? You bet I do. 25-bit limitation. Yeah. President's foreign policy. The world is at war. Yikes. Hitting a little too close to home there, game. 3 types of weaponry: ground missiles, satellite-based, particle beams, and lasers. Yeah, I've tried everything as a kid, and just absolutely none of it worked. Maybe there's some new stuff. And also, hello, Pirette. How are you? Welcome to stream. 100 ground missiles. Use the mouse to aim the missile and push the button to fire. Okay, so I'm getting the sense that this is just like basically a missile command on steroids. Particle beam weapon an unlimited number of times. Hold down the option key and press the mouse button. You can't just use the option key by itself. That's super annoying. May fire your lasers only 3 times per... Alright, that's particle beam. They have no effect on the score. The space laser will destroy the incoming missile. Okay, so the laser is just like automatic death to the thing. Kid version of Paint. Kid Pix. I've no idea. I've barely dug into this machine. It was set up by a friend of mine, and I've no idea what's on it. I don't think we saw anything like that when we were looking through the hard drive, though. Higher enemy missiles destroy the higher the point value. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, come on. I'm gonna fire my particle beam. Oh. No, come on. Oh. Blast it. Alright, so that... Alright, the cursor changes when I hold down for the particle beam. Alright. Trying to get the hang of this thing. Boy, the redraw is so slow. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Oh man, I'm running out of missiles. This is ridiculous. I could use my particle beam. Or not. $16 color. Oh, yeah. 16 color mode would be faster, wouldn't it? Maybe I should try that. Alright, so I really need to use the particle beam whenever I can, because I'm running out of missiles. Like 5 frame per second missile command. It gives me a population down here. I think I've killed a large number of people. Ah, nuke. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Yeah, video card. Everything about this Mac is not the greatest in the world. Hence the Road Apple designation. Come on. Gotcha. Alright, I've really got to get the front of these guys. Particle beam. There. Gradient background, you guessed higher. Well, I mean, it's in 8-bit. It's in 8-bit color mode now. So is this just like a go as far as you can before you run out of missiles sort of game? Does it ever end? Come on. No matter when I get my particle beam back. No! No, 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 no! Alright, I'm just killing off my people. Alright, will I get my particle beam in time? I will. Ah! And my mouse mistracks. That's no good. Oh. Alright, you know what? Just kill me. I'm done. Ends when the population is 0. The inevitable end of nuclear war. Yes. Very much. I'm just going to save this one town over here. Everyone else gets to die. I have no more missiles. Technically, the inevitable end of nuclear wars in the other country has no nukes. Oh, God. Hey, Tom, what's going on? Made the second highest score. Oh, look, another game that won't let you enter numbers as part of your name in the high score. Ah, okay. They really used Macs outside of school. It's interesting to see what they had. Yeah, my dad had a Mac at work, and we had some Macs in school, but never. I'm trying to think. No, wait. Well, let's see. My stepmother had a Mac. I don't know. None of them were really mine. This is like the first Mac that's actually like mine for some reason. I don't know. Solitaire. I think we know what Solitaire is. Space Attack. Let's find out what that is. Okay. I cannot print from this game, apparently. Oh, look. It's Space Invaders. LC2 and LC475 and A100. First Macintosh experience, the LC series, special place. Yeah, so my stepmother had an LC. It may have actually been the original LC, or perhaps it was an LC2, I can't remember. So yeah, I think that's the source of just the tiny little bit of nostalgia I have for classic Mac like this. All right, so Z and X and Shift to fire. Okay. All right, we're going to set that low, some amount of barricade. All right. Whoa. That's kind of crazy. Okay, I'm just going to stand here, wipe these guys out. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. This is like Space Invaders on steroids, on cocaine, on meth. I don't know, one of those drugs that makes everything go too fast. That's what this game is. Organizing all your cassettes. Okay. Oh, I died. Oh my God, they go too fast. Oh, come on. All right, I lose. Space Invaders, yeah, definitely a lot faster than the 10-liner. Yeah. I wonder if, all right, I'm going to switch video modes. I'm going to switch video modes. I'm going to do that in the monitor's control panel, if I remember correctly. All right, so we're going to go from 256 colors to 16 colors. All right. Now even you guys, I think, can see the screen dithering. I wonder if that will make the artifacts go away. Yeah, I know I can't print. Why would I want to print this game? Yep, okay. Yes, that makes the artifacts go away. Oh, okay, yeah, it was stupid easy because I turned the number of enemy shots down. I get it now. All right. Take you guys out. Actually concentrate on what I'm doing here. And maybe not get killed as much. Maybe. I mean, I'm still going to die at the end when everything just goes absolutely on speed, but okay. Oh, I made it through the level. Look at that. Ah, dang it. All right. The state of the art of Mac gaming in 1987 or whenever it was. Gun shy. Permission to copy but not for profit is granted. Okay, new. Resume. Oh, game you can save. What is it? Oh, it's like Mahjong, but not. This is a seriously trippy Mahjong. Oh, is it called Taipei? Is that what it's Shanghai? I don't know what you call it. I've always called this game Mahjong, but it's probably incorrect. So, all right. Yes, that is Steve Jobs, isn't it? Oh wow. Who's this coked up sucker right here? That's what I want to know. All right. So you've got to match. All right, you can only match on exposed tiles, right? And so like this tile, and where's another like weird cop hat wearing dude? I know I saw it. Fourth from the. Oh, that's Bill Atkinson. Okay. All right. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. There's another Bill and Steve, I suppose. Mac with wings. This looks like Defender. This looks like Defender right here. It's like I could play the game or I could just stare at all the truly bizarre tiles that they have created for this game. All right. Well, those two, that at least was easy. Standard window glass on. I have no idea. I don't know if it's a case of, they wanted to look different. They wanted their game to look different, or maybe they just assumed that this would just be running full screen in 512 by 384. Because I'm not running it. I'm running it 640 by 480. Maybe I should be running it 512 by 384. I don't know. I just assumed more pixels would be better, but that's not always a valid assumption on these old machines. Great, black box, good enough. Exactly. Can I change my... I wonder how hard it is to change the screen res. All right. Now I want to find out. Save the game. No. I'm not saving that game. Now, let's see. It's not... The resolution... Is the resolution... No, all I can do here is change the color depth. Select a monitor resolution. Right, I have to mess with dip switch settings for this. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get 512 by 384 going. See how that looks in that mode. I have... Yeah, I got to fiddle with switches. I have a cheat sheet here for the switches. This is like this massive list of modes. All right, 512 by 384. They call that the 12-inch RGB monitor. In mode 5, which is separate sync, I'm on 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So I'm on 2 and 3 and 6 and 7. So I need to switch. All right. Oh, you know what? I better shut the Mac down when I do this, right? Just gonna yell at me, but we'll do it anyway. All right. 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. 1, turn 2 off, 3, 4, 6, and 7. 6 and 7, I think, is the horizontal and vertical sync enable. So those are always on in the VGA modes. Let's see what happens. We've secretly replaced Josh's monitor with 512 by 384 12-inch RGB. Let's see if he notices. I don't know what this Extron's going to do with the signal either. Might freak out. Okay, well that's different. It's looking a bit chunkier. Oh, I see. It's over scanning like crazy on my monitor here, but it's actually got more or less correct geometry going into the capture card. That's interesting. Hmm. Let's see. Zoom, normal, wide, zoom. Nope. Normal. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, you all can see the right things. I just can't. It's cutting off on the top and the bottom and the sides. I just have a little piece of the inside on my bench monitor. That's super weird. Because I thought I was outputting a... What am I outputting here? I don't even know. Output configuration. 1024 by 768. All right, so my bench monitor just hates that. I should have gone to 720. But anyway, okay. Let's see how this looks in 512. New game. Well. Hmm. Yeah, mostly correct. Just off in the vertical. Some very strange reason. This tile set is so weird. Like, I can't imagine that the traditional Shanghai tile set was copyrighted or anything. Why did they use obviously, like Snoopy? Why did they use obviously copyrighted tile images here instead of the traditional ones? Like, what the hell? What the hell, guys? Well, all right. What else have we got here? I think I saw Mac Pong. That's probably more up my alley right now. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Whoa, okay. The latency here is fairly significant. I don't know how much of that is my scaler or how much of that is just the game. And how would a second player play in this? Well, I guess maybe it's not. Maybe it's just always human versus computer. All right. All right. How do I? Oh, okay. Just drag up here and then I'm done. Okay, Othello, we know what that is. Charlie, I have no idea what this is. Let's find out what Charlie is. Oh, is this like oh, I'm trying to think. Somebody tell me what this game is. I know it's something. I think I have to block you there. Right? I have to keep you from getting 5 in a row or something stupid like that. Haha. Oh, you win. God damn it. Okay, fine. I have to look up at my stream preview to be able to find the menus because I can't see the menus on my... All right. Mr. Ed, what in the world could this be?
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
It's Mr. Ed. Okay. I honestly have no idea. This is the weirdest collection of stuff.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Win and quit. Who won now? Yeah. I that's just dying to become a sound alert, isn't it? That's just has to be, that has to go into the sound alerts. Office attack. What do we got here? Try to capture all the icons that appear on the screen. Use a mouse to point and click on the icon. So just click on things. This is the dumbest set of games. No, I don't think there's no way this machine could run Myst, right? Freeze the action. The action. All right. Quit is the top menu item. I am too, Polpo. I absolutely am. Oh, this is like my first Code Warrior project or something. All right. What do we got here? About Royal Institute of Technology, Stockholm, Sweden. Oh my God, is this another? I'm so bad at these games. You can't get it that way, so that's fine. I'm gonna go here. And you're gonna go there. Yeah, it's another one of these stupid games that I can never win because I don't know the algorithm and everything is programmed quite perfectly. All right, and then there's the scores for Missile Command. Myst needs 4 megs of RAM, an 020, System 7, 256 colors, CD-ROM, 3 megabytes. Well, okay, all right. I guess it could run Myst if I had a CD-ROM drive for it. I have a CD-ROM. All right. This has been fun. Thank you, Mac. I'm now going to set you back to 640 by 480, I think. Was the actual Mac Myst HyperCard? I know their first game Manhole was HyperCard, but I thought Myst was something else. I don't know why I think that, but that's what I think. All right, 2, 3, 6, and 7 is what I had it in before. This goes to can emulate CD-ROM. That's right, it can. That's right, it can. But I'm kind of curious about like stuff I can actually attach to this machine. BMPs and QuickTime Video can run the CD. Yeah. But yeah, you're yeah, Bald Engineer's right. Blue Scuzzy, I think, can do CD-ROM. Because right, all right. So we've got a SCSI port here. Modem. I should try hooking up my Wi-Fi modem. That would be fun. And then SCSI stuff. I'm gonna dig through a box right now. I apologize, because I do want to find out if I have any D25 SCSI stuff. Can this system do split? So this system has a blue SCSI in it, actually, Pirette. Empty slot where you can put the Apple II card. Yeah, so it has a PDS slot, and he actually gave me a PDS Ethernet card, which he says does not work. And I have not investigated that yet. I'm still very much figuring out how this stupid thing works. All right, SCSI. The question is, do I have any DB25 SCSI stuff? Well, that's my USB floppy drive. Very large internal SCSI cable. Check. These, I think, are the cables for my Slim SCSI. Yes. An Adaptec Slim SCSI with the cables. I need to get that working on my Amiga, honestly. But for the moment, set you aside. If I can get the stupid box closed. HD50 internal cable. Centronics, you're not a SCSI cable. You stowed away in this box. Giant chain O SCSI adapters, none of which I think is DB25. Yeah. You ain't. Do you even SCSI, bro? That is. I have actually used this too. This I bought for a very specific purpose. For all the hype for SCSI stuff, I don't think you ever legit use a single hardware SCSI device. I used a lot of SCSI at some points in my life. All right, internal HD50 cable, SCA to 50 pin adapter. All the adapters, wide to narrow. Another, oh, all right, this is for my Panasonic portable SCSI. Ooh, is that out? Do I have that out? I think that thing is still packed. Unless it's hiding back here, which it is not. Yeah, that's a very cool thing. It is a SCSI Discman, basically. And that's the cable for it. And I think I have its own. So I think I have two PCMCI SCSI adapters, actually. My God, Josh, how many SCSI adapters do you need? Yeah. It's definitely an invasion of Terminators here. I had no idea I had all of these stupid SCSI adapters. And you're not even a SCSI cable. All right, I guess I'll leave you in there for right now because I don't know what else to do with you. All right, and there's a 2.4 gigahertz patch antenna and a BNC AUI Ethernet transceiver. But no, I'm not seeing any D50 SCSI cables or adapters. Oh, wait, what's this? What's this? Oh, okay, all right. I do have one, apparently. Stupid Sun video cable snuck in there. All right, so I have this. I have a 25 to Centronics. That gets me somewhere. I think, I'm trying to think what CD-ROMs. I have the portable CD-ROM, and then, actually that might be it. I don't know if I have any other external CD-ROM interfaces. But all right, so all right, this gets me to Centronics. Oh, but it gets me to narrow Centronics. This is wide Centronics. Beast of a... Wait, no. No! You're lying to me! You lied to me! You're a printer cable. You're not a SCSI cable. Oh, all these non-SCSI cables in my SCSI box. What the hell? This is totally a Centronics printer cable. This is not... This is Centronics SCSI. This is not. Stupid cables. All right. Back in the box. All of you. All right, so no, I have no D25 SCSI things. All right, well, I told my buddy I would check a long time ago, so now I have checked. PCI SCSI, all the ribbon cables, and my floppy drive for some reason. But at least that's labeled on the box. See? It says right here, SCSI and USB floppy drive. Well, that was fun. I have no way to attach SCSI peripherals to this device. I do, however, I should have a serial cable. Let me dig that out. Hang on. Just 1 second. No, you have too many serial cables. Oh, and I'm going to need a 25 to 9 adapter as well. And then the Wi-Fi modem. This is right. No, it's not the right gender. Son of a... Oh yeah, that's the problem. This is female and it should be male. Sorry. Just give me a second. I swear I'll find all the adapters that I need. Is this a... That's a gender changer, but the wrong way. Ah, okay. Here's the right gender changer. All right. Ta-da! Serial connection, just like we did back in the old days. Yeah, that probably is. The Discord invites only last for so long, don't they? I'll send you an invite after the stream. Text. Sorry. It's absolute madness. All right. Now, of course, I need a mini USB to power this thing. Because why wouldn't you, right? Let me find. I've got one in here somewhere. Here we go. Oh wait, this is better. This is shorter. Okay. All right. We got it. power strip here. That up. Hopefully this works. Yes, I see the little light. Okay, now we plug this into the modem port, not the printer port, but the modem port. And plug all the other things back into the Mac. Oh my God. Bench is a nightmare. ATP. Sound. Okay. Replug all the things. Turn this on. It's an old Mac. It's a Mac LC2. A friend of mine gave it to me recently, and I have not had a chance to play with it because I didn't have. Well, you can't. This adapter for the video output. So, just sort of checking it out here. What's this connection chain? Yeah, serial to serial to serial to serial. Exactly. So this is my Y modem 232 Wi-Fi modem, and the only case I could find was for the one with an OLED, but the one I bought didn't have the OLED, so that's why it's in this weird printed case. And then a male-to-male gender changer, because this cable is female when it really should be male if it's supposed to be a data terminal cable. So anyway, it's just all the adapters you need to get to the right port for this stupid thing. And now I realize I don't actually even know if there's a terminal program on here. So I don't know if I can even make it go. But we'll find out. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Texas Foosballer. I need to remember to update that link periodically. Network. This is all... Z-term. I bet this will do it. Does it not have BASIC to load a program? No, I don't think there's... Well, I'm sure there were plenty of BASIC programs for a Mac, but it's not. It doesn't have built-in BASIC like earlier computers. All right, ATI. Oh, sorry. Yes, all right. Okay, so this is Z-term, which I naively assumed was a terminal program, and I think it appears to be, but it's just not communicating. All right, so let me check the settings. Connection. Probably, all right, let's try 9600. Let's see if I left it at 9600. Full control, sure, we'll leave that there. ATI. And the weird thing is, I would expect to get nothing right here if it weren't at the right settings. But I'm getting something, even with local echo turned off. Which is weird. All right, maybe a slower speed. The other possibility is I need a null modem, actually. All right. 1200 would be the speed. Well, 1200 or 300, actually. I could have it at one of those speeds for my Tandy. All right, now it's echoing weird stuff. Was I actually just communicating fine with the stupid Modem? Yeah. Yes, you heard no modem. It is weird that it's echoing back, right? All right, if I disconnect this, now it's definitely not connecting. All right, it's echoing back. So it's like I am connected to the modem. All right, I'm gonna power cycle, see if we get anything. Because it should give you a startup message when you power cycle. That's not working. All right. All indications are that we are in fact talking to the modem. And I see the light come on. All right. It goes red and blue and then poofs out. But we're still drawing 0.4 watts. I wonder if it's a connection issue. All right, let's try 9600. I feel like I should see its boot up message. In fact, I'm sure I should with the Y modem 232. Eight N1. Yeah, that should be right. Just nopes out. All right, 4800 could be what I had for just general use. Or I could have it at 1200 or 300 for my Tandies, is the other thing. All right, plug it in. Go to 0.4 watts. So we're running, we're getting power. But just nope. Big old chunk of nope. All right. What about a null modem adapter? Should have one of those in here somewhere. It's gender changer. That's not what I need. Another gender changer. There we go. I'm going to replace this chungus here with something a little more svelte. There we go. Nah. All right, let's try the null modem. All right, well, even with the null modem, it's just acting just like it did. Which is weird. I would expect it not to be echoing anything. Yeah, right? It's like, what is going on when I put a null modem in and it still echoes? Doesn't do it with it disconnected. I was like, is there something? I honestly have no idea what this cable is, right? It's just a cable I have. It's got a long part number on it, which I suppose I could put into Google. But, I mean, for all I know, this might not be a real serial cable, given its gender. Yeah, very strange. And I don't think I have any others. I don't think I have any other DIN 8s. Which is kind of weird to me, because I thought I had a lot of those DIN 8s. Because, unless I'm mistaken, those DIN 8 cables are also Sony Visca cables, which I had an absolute ton of for all of the Sony PTZs that we had around my old job. Engine cable for my CX-40, yeah. The serial that came with old battery backup units. Yeah, it has that kind of a vibe. So maybe it is, in fact, something weird and not a real serial cable. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Or maybe it is a Sony Visca cable. Actually, that would make sense if this were a Visca cable, because this would go into the camera and this would go into the male serial port of the control computer. But that means it should just be serial. So I'm really confused. Okay, one more thing to try, actually. One more thing. And then I'll probably call the stream after that. Because I am me, I have yet another Wi-Fi modem. This is Paul Rickard's modem. Let's see if this works. Why couldn't Apple do anything standard? Like any single thing. No, don't plug it in the printer port, Josh. Plug it in the modem port. You know, I mean, there's a reason that I declared classic Macs out of scope for me. You know, they are weird beasts. They did adopt USB early. This is true. This is true. Now this one almost certainly wants to be at 96. I'm pretty sure. It's just echoing back to me. Hit the reset. Get nothing. I think this cable is weird. I think this power cords were standard. No, they weren't. They were not standard. They had that stupid extra flange on them, so you could not plug into any other machine. It could only be plugged into an Apple. Ha! No, checkmate. Their power cords were not standard. Echo back if the Y modem is off. That's a good question. Yes, it does. It's something weird. This cable is weird. All right, this is a weird cable. So yeah, that's the Mac. I have a Mac now, for what that's worth. No, don't save this setup. I will have to track down the correct cable. Because BBSing would be the fun thing I could do on this Mac right now. One of you all, yeah. I know. I'm one of the Mac crowd now. I have a Mac. We have Apple grief for dock connector and Lightning. Dock was a standard for 12 years. Yeah. There's six different USB connectors. What the hell? There's only like 4 that could possibly have used. Which Mac is this? This is an LC2. This is a Mac LC2. So here, I will give you the about this Macintosh. Only has its built-in RAM. I haven't found any extension RAM. That's another thing I need to do, but I don't have time to dig out my RAM box right now. Yeah, it's a 16 megahertz 68 LCO30 on apparently an 8 megahertz bus, I think. So it's incredibly poor performance. It's an absolute road apple. But it's cute, and it doesn't take up nearly as much space as any of the other Macs that I could have. So if I'm going to have a Mac, I may as well have a small, cute pizza box. What? Right? It's a crippled CPU. Yes. Everything about this Mac is crippled. Like, they crippled the amount of RAM. They limited the amount of RAM on it. I actually shouldn't use the word crippled. They limited the processor bus. They limited the yeah, just absolutely everything. They limited the video RAM. They limited everything. Motorola's competition to the 286. Yeah, it's quite bad, but I'm gonna love it anyway. Here's my Mac. So thanks everyone for hanging out after a truly awful day. I will post more on Fediverse about what I decide to do. Like I said, I'm seriously considering getting more into the retro repair business, repairs and mods, and see if maybe that can become a bigger part of my life. Sorry, I'm just going to shut the Mac down here so the fan's not. This is a really loud fan. I really should replace it. Yeah, thanks, Petzel. So we will see how stuff goes at work and in retro. Yeah, thanks, RetroFox. Appreciate it. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a fun stream. It's the first time I've really dug into a Mac in a while. Since the MDD, and even that was just like get it working and then get some demos on it and do a stream real quick. But all right, let's see if anyone is on to raid. Maybe we should do a raid. Let's see. Sid is streaming. Sid Heresy. I don't know what Sid is streaming. Let's see if I can take a quick look at it. Soldering module on the wall doesn't bother me at all. He says, all right, he's doing some electronic soldering. I think we shall raid Sid. If I can find the thing, there we are. We will raid Sid. So thanks everyone for the stream. I'm just reading my chat. Thanks for hanging out with the stream. I really appreciate you all, and I'll be back hopefully next week. And complete some projects. Maybe actually complete the DVI thing. That would be fun. But yeah, take care everyone. I appreciate your support. It's really awesome, and I'll see you all around later.